hoarding money isn't the same as building wealth. And the mindset that keeps you from growing your money, it's the very thing that's keeping you broke. The news was filled with panic. Banks were failing. People were losing jobs. The stock market was in free fall. You learn to fear money. Every time you think about investing, a little voice in your head whispers, what if you lose everything? What if it's all a scam? What if you make the wrong choice? The first step is to have what's called a fun account, an account that you put money in just for the process of seemingly wasting it. I'm Lloyd James Ross, seven-figure investor and entrepreneur, and I've helped thousands of business owners and professionals turn financial stress into success. If you're stuck in old money habits, overwhelmed by investing, or unsure where to start, this is for you. I'll give you the mindset and strategies to take control, grow your wealth, and achieve financial freedom. It's time to make your money work for you. There's a disease spreading everywhere. Doesn't care how much money you make, what job you have, or how smart you are. It infects business owners, CEOs, even self-made millionaires. You'd have a seven-figure income and still suffer from it. And the worst part, most people don't even know they have it. This disease keeps you stuck. It makes you work harder while earning less. It convinces you that no matter how much money you make, it's still never enough. I see it every single day. If you're listening to this, chances are you have it too. But here's the kicker. This mindset isn't something you were born with. It was given to you. Learn from your parents, absorbed from your environment, and shaped by past experiences. And once it takes hold, it runs your life. It controls how you spend, how you save, how you invest or don't. So how does this mindset start? Where does it come from? Imagine this. It's 2008. You're a teenager, maybe in your early 20s, watching the world around you collapse. Your parents worked hard. They did everything right. They bought a house, had savings, maybe even a few investments. Life was comfortable until suddenly it wasn't. The news was filled with panic. Banks were failing. People were losing jobs. The stock market was in free fall. And then it hit your family. Maybe your parents lost their home. Maybe your dad got laid off. And maybe your mum was scrambling to keep the lights on. Maybe you remember the way they whispered at night about bills, about debts, about how they'd never let this happen again. So what did they do? They tightened their grip on every dollar. They stopped spending. They stopped taking risks. They made sure that every cent was accounted for. And you learn to fear money, to fear losing it, to believe that even when things are good, it can all come crashing down in an instant. Now, as an adult, you make money, but you never feel like you truly have it. You don't invest because what if the market crashes again? You don't spend because what if you need that money later? You work harder, thinking that more hours, more hustle is the only way to stay ahead. But no matter how much you earn, that feeling never really goes away. Because deep down, you're still living like the crash is just around the corner. Sound familiar? Or maybe your story looks more like this. You grew up thinking your family was doing well. Your dad was smart with money. At least that's what everyone said. He talked about investments, had a solid job, maybe even dabbled in stocks or real estate. Money wasn't something you worried about. Until one day, everything changed. Maybe it was a bad investment. Maybe it was a stock market crash. Maybe it was a business deal that went south. Whatever it was, the money vanished. Almost overnight, you saw your dad go from confident to crushed. You remember the arguments, the tension in the house, the way he stopped talking about money altogether, how the topic became off limits. Maybe he swore off investing completely. Maybe he became obsessed with never taking another risk, choosing instead to save every single penny, convinced that playing it safe was the only way to survive. And without realizing it, you inherited that fear. Now, every time you think about investing, a little voice in your head whispers, what if you lose everything like Dad did? What if it's all a scam? What if you make the wrong choice? So you avoid it. You play it safe. You hold on to money like it could slip through your fingers at any moment. But here's the thing. Hoarding money isn't the same as building wealth. And the mindset that keeps you from growing your money, it's the very thing that's keeping you broke. Or maybe you don't need to look at your parents. You've lived this yourself. You built something. You took a risk, started a business, maybe even made great money. But then something happened. A bad partnership, a failed investment, a market downturn. And suddenly everything you built disappeared. And every time you think about investing again, your stomach knots up. The memory of losing money haunts you. You hesitate, second guess, you overthink. You stick to what feels safe. You don't invest. You don't delegate. You take full control, convinced that if you just work hard enough, you can prevent another failure. But that's not how wealth is built. Maybe you're the kind of person who believes that if you want something done right, you got to do it yourself. You don't outsource. You don't invest in help. You don't delegate because no one can do it as well as you can. But what happens? You run yourself into the ground. You spend all your time on tasks that don't actually build wealth. You trade time for money, working longer, thinking that if you just worked a bit harder or a bit longer, you'll finally feel financially secure. But no amount of hard work can fix this mindset. And the mindset is scarcity. Just quickly, if you're ready to take control of your finances but feel stuck on where to start, I have a solution. My book, Money Buys Happiness, simplifies investing and wealth building with practical steps to help you achieve financial peace. Get your copy via the link in the show notes and let's get your money working for you. Now back to the episode. Where does it come from? How does it happen? But most importantly, how do you move away from this scarcity money mindset? And it reminds me of a story that my dad told me many times from his past. He was a very successful insurance salesman. In fact, he sold 100 insurance policies face-to-face in a single week in his 20s. And so being number one, he would always win awards. And he'd go to the awards night, he'd be up the top of the table, the best insurance salesman of the year. And one particular year, there was another chap who was at the top with him. And he said that at the event, you'd get a trophy and they give you a big bottle of champagne to take back to your table. And he said one night he was observing this guy that, for the first time, he sold some insurance policies and was at the top of the table. And he was getting the same award as my dad. And he said he noticed something. He said this guy went back to his table and took the bottle of champagne and put it under the table. And I asked my dad, I said, what did you do with yours? He said, I took mine back to the table and I opened it up, popped it, and gave everyone a glass and shared it with everyone. I said, Dad, what's the lesson in this story? What are you trying to tell me here? He said that he never saw that other guy again. It was the only time he ever won top of the table. Why? Because when my dad went back to his table, he shared it with everyone and used the champagne, drank it because he knew he'd be back next year and he'll get another one. Whereas the other guy, he thought this is the last time I'll ever win this. I won't be back again, and he never came back. So when it comes to your money, you have to understand that you'll get it again. It's free flowing. You'll find it. And most importantly, you can't take it with you. So just like champagne, share it, spend it, and intelligently invest it. But try not to hoard it because it will come back and it'll haunt you for the rest of your life. So what are some practical steps you can take to actually get rid of this scarcity money mindset? Well, I've got 3 practical steps for you to follow to do that. Step number 1, the first step is to have what's called a fun account, an account that you put money in that you blow on purpose. That's right, the account is designed for you to put money in it just for the process of seemingly wasting it, all right? You want to buy the champagne and pop it, go for it. But this will prevent you having guilt and shame around spending money that you feel you don't have. That's the first step, having a fun account. The second step is to educate yourself about investing because no one is going to care about your money more than you. But the only thing holding you back from investing it and deploying it to grow it is the fact that you don't understand the investing landscape. And the only way around that is to put the knowledge in your head. So education must come before you deploy the money into investments, okay? Wisdom before money. So someone once said to me, Lloyd, empty your wallet into your head so your head can fill your wallet. Step number 3, delegate. You can't do it all yourself. You've got to delegate, which means starting to delegate some of the small tasks in your life that you think you're the only one that can do it. You think you're the best at it. But let me tell you, there are other people out there that can do it better than you. I know, it's crazy, but they are. And so when you go and start delegating, it means you can free up your time, and time is more valuable than money. So the trick to building wealth is scaling your time. You can work on higher value tasks. So the trick is to delegate the tasks that are below your hourly rate. And that allows you to free up your time and focus on wealth building instead of just being busy all the time. And the most important thing for you to firstly delegate, if you haven't done it yet, is to delegate the cleaning of your house. One of our students, she came in, she was very clever. She was an engineer running a team of 30 people, had 4 children, was building an app as a business, and she was still cleaning her own house. And she said to me one day, Lloyd, I feel like I've got no time left. I can't build my wealth. I can't spend time on my business. And I said, you're still cleaning your own house. Of course you don't have any time. And it was that moment that she decided that, well, maybe there is someone better than me in this. Maybe I can actually trust someone enough to do a job better than me. And she outsourced her cleaning. And that changed her whole life. And so that particular step will allow you to scale your wealth and not cling to the fact that you're the only one that can do it. So the scarcity money mindset is just one of 6 money mindsets that is holding you back from building wealth. You want to know the other 5? They're in my latest book, Money Buys Happiness. So head to the description, click the link, grab a copy, and go and find out the next 5 money mindsets that are holding you back, because when you're aware of them and you know them, you can get past them. All right, so hit the subscribe button, go check out the link, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for listening to Money Grows on Trees. If you enjoyed the episode, leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and subscribe to us on YouTube so you never miss an episode. And if you're serious about building wealth, make sure to check out the links in the show notes and follow me on all social media platforms at Lloyd James Ross for more. See you in the next episode.